Welcome to Class 7, which is History. I hope you've been enjoying these lessons as I've been going through them. Let's kind of review here for what we learned on our last lesson. We learned that these first 5 books are the law, and I colored this one different because this one has lots of stories in it, but these 4 right here are all about Moses, and it starts with the birth of Moses here and ends with the death of Moses here. And then I filled in up here. This is called the Pentateuch, and I have put in an asterisk up here where I put in the reasons how we got that word. Penta being 5, tekos being scrolls. And also I made note down here that this is the Torah. This is really going to be the time in which you are going to be reading and really munching these up. As much as I wish that you could just come and let someone, sort of open your head and pour the knowledge in, like someone pouring tea into a teacup. The truth of the matter is if you ever want to get really, really good at knowing what's in these books, you have to put in the time to study them. And without putting in the time, you're just going to kind of get that overview knowledge. But if you want to get to that place where you feel really comfortable with all of these, you're going to have to get in there and dig around and read these things for yourself. Today we're going to be learning what is the history, considered the history books. Now they start here. It goes Joshua, Judges, Ruth, 1st and 2nd Samuel. And that's the way that you usually are going to say these things. Sometimes you'll hear somebody go 1 Samuel or 2 Samuel. But the official way that you say something like this is 1 Samuel, 2 Samuel, 1 Kings, 2 Kings, rather than 1 Kings or 2 Kings. That's the preferred way of saying it. So you got 1st and 2nd Samuel, 1st and 2nd Kings, 1st and 2nd Chronicles, Ezra, Nehemiah, and Esther. Now, this is actually going to start from the time that after Moses dies. Here, they're going to cross the Jordan River, and Joshua takes over as the leader. And it's going to follow the entire history of what's going to happen to the Jewish people until they are taken over to Babylon and return from Babylon. So this is all the history that's going to happen to them during this time. So the changes, there are going to be some changes that go into effect. In Joshua, they're kind of getting set up. In Judges, the people are judged basically by rulers. If you have a problem, you take it to a judge to have them figure it out. So Samson was one of the judges. And then we know Ruth. 1st and 2nd Samuel is where things start to change and how things are done. Because you have Samuel, and Samuel will actually be the last of the judges. And from then on in, the people want a king. So they get King Saul, and David also makes an appearance here. And David will continue on into 1st Kings. Now, here's the thing. When you see 1st Kings, 2nd Kings, 1st Chronicles, 2nd Chronicles, these all have the exact, well, not the exact same, but they're all covering the same material, okay? What happened when all these kings were in place? So you're going to find stories about David in 1st Kings, but also in 1st Chronicles. How does that work? Well, it's kind of like this. Here is a book on Theodore Roosevelt. Here is another book on Theodore Roosevelt. These books were written by different authors. Okay? They are written during different years. They have different publication dates. But they are both covering the presidency of Theodore Roosevelt. Okay? In the same way, the story is told in 1st Kings and 2nd Kings are also going to be told in 1st Chronicles and 2nd Chronicles. So if you, and these are the stories of all the kings of Israel and Judah. So if you were to find a story and you're reading about something that happened to a king here, you might be able to come over and find more details that they didn't include because it's 2 different kind of authors that are going on here. So, but these are actually the same books. If you were going to color them, you would want to color them. Let me get a brighter color. I dropped you. You're going to want to color them the exact same color. These are the same. Okay. These are going to end after they are carried away into Babylon. Okay. When they come back, you'll know about Queen Esther. When they come back, these 3 books are all from that time period. From Esther's alive, Nehemiah and Ezra, they're all alive during this time period. Ezra and Nehemiah are both telling the stories of the same thing, rebuilding the wall in Jerusalem, and it is Esther's husband who actually finances the rebuilding of the walls. So these 3 are the exact same thing. Okay, they're telling from different perspectives, but 2 people at the same time telling about the same event. Okay, and then you've got Esther. She's, at the same time period. They probably were, she and Nehemiah probably were aware of each other, even though they don't mention it. But all of these are actually the same thing. So that's all I have for history. I look forward to talking to you in the next video. Until then, bye-bye and have a good day.